When I was first asked to speak at this banquet, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to say or how I was truly going to summarize my 4 years here at ISU. Should I talk about my track experience and the journey it took for us to win conference? Maybe when I studied abroad in Italy, or even the ruthless process of landing a job post-graduation. These are all things that ran across my mind, but as Andrea said, I think I'll just start from the beginning. Before I continue, I must say how truly grateful and humbled I am for the privilege and honor of addressing this esteemed body, the coaching staff for their tutelage, guidance, and mentoring, my parents and sister for their endless support, encouragement, and always being my #1 fans. And last, but certainly not least, my fellow athletes whose unrelenting support has helped to make it possible for me to stand here in this space as a representative of the tireless efforts that we all make each and every time we hit our respective playing fields. I remember when I first visited ISU. To be honest, it was just another school visit for me. My older sister went here, and going to the same school since pre-K, I just knew I wouldn't be following in her footsteps again. But little did I know that this place would become more than just a college with slight familiarity, but a home in which I gained a second family. As soon as I became even vaguely acquainted with this campus, I knew this was a place for me. From the award-winning business school, to the genuine and delicious environment of the track team, the decision to choose ISU to be my home for the next 4 years was a no-brainer. Over the years, I have developed a passion for track, which is reflected in my go-to saying, "Track is life," or insert whatever sport you compete in here. But for me, track embodies many parallels that not only are relevant in this space, but are just as significant in the challenges that I face off the field. Ecclesiastes tells us that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, but him who endures till the end. I know this might sound counterintuitive, since the ultimate goal of running a race is to win, but this teaches us a few things. First of all, it demonstrates that although our goal might be the prize at the end, we should be equally focused on our preparation for each race presented to us in life. Running track or competing within any sport is the epitome of developing this type of focus. The ultimate goal for any athlete is to win, individually or for your team. That is a given. But without the requisite preparation, winning a race is a little more than an unattainable fantasy. Preparation is key in adequately positioning ourselves to effectively run each race, whether the race is on the field, in the classroom, in the boardroom, or in our personal relationships. We must work as hard as we can, preparing to endure each race until the end, always keeping our eye on the prize and trusting that our efforts will not be in vain. Additionally, this passage invites us to view our life's work as a process that embodies all aspects of the challenges we might face. Along the way, we will confront certain trials on the path to our ultimate success. What we do with the hand we have been dealt will ultimately determine our fate. We can choose to embrace and overcome these tests or allow them to thwart our progress. Putting forth the effort and having the determination to work through obstacles build character. In our ever-changing societal landscape, having a strong character or disposition can be an invaluable asset. Thirdly, we are challenged to think about how we prioritize our life. If we focus more on the end game, we might not be as mindful as we should be of the people, lessons, and growth we inevitably will experience in life. Our response to these situations are much more important than the situations themselves. Just last week, I was talking to my dad and complaining to him about all the papers, projects, and presentations that I had to complete within these final week of classes. To say I was super pressed is an understatement. You would think after my 4th year I would learn not to procrastinate so much, but hey, to each its own. I kept telling him that I didn't have time to do it all, and I didn't know how I would finish all my assignments in time. In the midst of all my complaining and most likely sobs, my dad interrupted me and said, "Keep your eye on the purpose and not the clock." And that kind of caught me off guard a bit and truly made me analyze what this statement truly meant. As student athletes, we become robot-like to all the things we do on a daily basis, from getting up before the crack of dawn to lift weights, making it through our daily class schedule, and finishing the day out with final practices. We become so immune to the time we're spending on these various activities that we forget the true purpose behind why we do the things we do. Rather it be running a certain time or getting that last shot off before the buzzer, we are always so focused on time. So as we, as student athletes, continue on to our next journey, which for some may be leaving behind the sport you've known for your whole life, while for others it may be continuing to fight for that dream relentlessly. I want to assure you that it's okay to look away from the clock. If you still have no clue what you're doing after graduation, that's okay. If you haven't secured a job like some of your peers, that's okay too. Trust the journey that is already set for you. Don't get caught up in someone else's path. As long as your purpose is your purpose, the clock will continue to run. Don't wait on it. Thank you.